What's up everybody? Welcome to my most recent project, an Airbnb here in Old East Village, London, Ontario. Today I'm going to walk you through some of the finishes and furniture that I selected and why I did so. We actually bought this building for $140,000. We actually had to do $40,000 of renovations, so we spent an extra month and a half to complete the project, and we ended up spending an additional $10,000 from what we had planned because this building was a mess. Think about why your guest is here. It's all about them. It's about giving them that good experience. Have the range, have the pot, have the pans, have nice stuff, right? So this set was from Costco. It's kind of like clay. It's cool. People are going to remember it. People are going to think about that little stuff. That's how you win the wife. That's how you win the foodie, right? That's how you win the husband that is all into this kind of stuff. Like, you got to win these people over with these little details, and for the cost, it's so worth it. And bank will literally write us a check for $20,000. That difference between what we have in the deal in equity and what we have as a mortgage.
Creating an almost 2% property through Airbnb, that's what we're going to dive into in today's video with Adam J.D. Martin. This is really exciting, guys. This is one of the best strategies that we currently know of implementing here in Canada that's going to really maximize your net returns. In fact, Adam's going to break down for us his projected cash flow of potentially $1,400 a month every single month because of this Airbnb investing strategy. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and let's dive into today's video with Adam Martin, where he's breaking down for us how he's created an almost 2% rural property with Airbnb.
What's up everybody? Welcome to my most recent project, an Airbnb here in Old East Village, London, Ontario. Today I'm going to walk you through some of the finishes and furniture that I selected and why I did so. So in this 2-bedroom Airbnb, we're gonna start you off at the front door, because this is what your guest is gonna first walk into. One of the key things that you need as a host, especially if you're gonna be a super host, is access to your doors lock all the time. So I just unlocked this door, and you're gonna see here, within seconds, it actually just gave me a notification right to my phone that Princess was unlocked. Okay, so Princess is unlocked. I'm gonna know exactly when my guests are coming here. I'm gonna know when they're leaving. The lock is gonna automatically lock in the next 4 minutes so that I know my building's always safe. But I also now have sort of a timeline of when my guests left, when my cleaners arrived, and how long they took here, because I am getting billed by the hour by them. So that's a little tip. They're kind of expensive. I think this was like $350 or something. They're kind of expensive, but they're so worth it. This is a Schlag and code, so it's the top level Schlag lock. It works through Wi-Fi, so you don't need any funny adapters or any other things plugged in. It just works directly to the Wi-Fi, and I can lock it or unlock it, change codes, add codes, remove codes, and do anything I want right from my app. And if it's raining and horrible outside like it was today, I just unlocked it from the truck when I got here so that I could come right in and not get all the camera gear wet. Looking into the living room, I went with, you can see right away just by all of the colors on the flooring, the mat, the coffee table, the couch, the painting. I went with a very grayscale building, and we're actually going to do a little bit more work to add some color to the walls. So we're going to be adding some more plants, some more books, some more artwork in here that's going to really liven it up. But we went with this very easy to look at, very subtle color scheme that you can add whatever you want to. So if I want to add, you'll see this in the bedroom, some yellows, right, to brighten the space up and warm it up, then that's easy to do with either the comforters, the duvets, or some artwork. So stick with neutral. It's going to be for everybody, right? This attracts families, professionals, any category of renter or guest, sorry, that you're going to bring into your house. Don't make it don't have a hot pink house. Okay, it's not going to go over well when you have a professional that may or may not be traveling with a colleague, right? You got to think about those things when you're hosting Airbnb. Stick with neutral, stick with simple. That's going to give you the best results. So little map of the world, that's not going to offend anybody, right? We're not getting political in these spaces. We're not getting, we're trying to do as much as we can to stay in the neutral ground. So be Switzerland. Neutral colors, this is Walmart furniture actually. So this is the second time I'm using some Walmart stuff in an Airbnb. It actually stands up really good against damage and time. It's something I really love about it, and it's fairly simple to set up. So I like the Walmart stuff, it's pretty good. Couch from Facebook Marketplace that had never been used, we got that for $285. It's great. And while this is a cool tip for you guys, while we were setting this space up, we had imagined putting the TV up on the fireplace and mounting it. And what that would require though is a large sectional couch to make that space make sense. And that ended up being about 3 to 4 times the cost of just getting this one and changing up our layout. So we just changed up the layout. You gotta be dynamic. You can see over here, we've got some shelving. We are going to fill this up with books and plants and like little decorative things. But one of the things that's a massive feature in this building is the fireplace. Now, our insurance would have loved us to take it out, but instead we just deactivated it. You can't get into it, you can't start fires, and we wanted to leave it to really honor the heritage of the building, and as well as to have just a cute design piece. That's something people are gonna remember. Remember that cute black fireplace with the white brick? I do, right? I remember this at William Street, so I kind of stole this from Jeff. We're also going to finish this up later, but the red's growing on me. I want to see what you guys think in the comments. Drop me a comment on this one, but the red is growing on me. We were going to actually finish this off with some black tile. Ooh, our door just locked. There you go. Must have been 4 minutes. So we're going to finish this up with some black tile to really get that contrast, but for now, I actually like this red. Coming through here, we've got some built-ins. So again, the built-ins are great for long-term people. So we wanted to keep this space with an exit strategy in mind. We wanted to make sure that this space could accommodate people in the future if we needed to do long-term rentals or sell the place. So we did these built-ins for more storage. If you're a homeowner, you're gonna want some more storage in this house because you'll notice there's not a lot. So with these built-ins, we just put some cute decorative stuff in here from like HomeSense. And actually I got these lemons and this little jar for free with the couch. The lady that was selling me the couch was like, do you want this jar of lemons? And I was like, of course. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my latest project, an Airbnb here in Old East Village in London. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Old East Village, this is one of our up-and-coming neighborhoods that has a ton of amenities that people will come to just to see. So we have Anderson Ales, which is a craft brewery that's about 3 minutes away from here. We also have the London Brewing Co-op and some of the best coffee that London has to offer. And then seconds away from that, we also have the Root Cellar. And a couple blocks away from there, we actually have the Factory, which is London's biggest attraction if you're family traveling. So it's got, I think, Ontario's longest zip line that's indoor. It's got trampolines, it's got all sorts of fun stuff for families. And if you're here traveling for business, this is only a 5-minute drive to downtown where you can find all the major banks and entertainment venues. Additionally, we're only about a 10-minute drive from Fanshawe College or Western University. So this location has a lot to offer for both the local community and people coming to London for either entertainment or traveling for business. So I love this location, and you're gonna see when I walk you through the numbers that we were able to get into here for a very low cost of entry. So moving over to the numbers, this is actually a 2-bed, 1-bath house in Old East Village where we set the space up specifically for Airbnb. Now, what does that mean? Well, that meant making some very specific decisions on the materials that we were going to use, the quality of the finishes, as well as the layout of the building. So when I get into this Airbnb, I want you to know that we did set it up for this specifically, but you do always need to have your exit strategies in mind and have your end user at the very end of the day. If we need to sell this building, who are we going to be selling it to? And with that frame, with that lens on, that's how we made a lot of the decisions for the renovations and for changing the layout of the building. So diving right into the numbers, we actually bought this building for $140,000. Now the real purchase price was $132,500, and then we paid a $7,500 finder's fee or assignment fee from a wholesaler. So we are always willing to pay to play. Now this, you might be thinking, $140,000? Yes, that's a real number that we paid in 2019 in the summer. And again, we're in a fairly desirable neighborhood. Now we're on sort of a smaller stretch of a beautiful street, but it is still a very desirable neighborhood and very much so on the come up. So to get this building for $140,000, if you tell a lot of the local investors that specifically invest in Old East Village, they absolutely love that price. So that's why we jumped on it right away. As soon as it came up for sale, we got it privately, we paid the wholesale fee and jumped into it. And then we renovated it because this building was a mess. So you guys got to remember, it's not always going to be a turnkey building like the one that we have in Redthorn in Lambeth, which is a brand new build house that was so easy. All all we had to do is roll in and furnish it. With this one, we actually had to do $40,000 of renovations, of which only $3,000 was allocated for furniture. So we ended up going about 25% over time. So we spent an extra month and a half to complete the project, and we ended up spending an additional $10,000 from what we had planned, but it's all gonna make sense when I show you the numbers, and this is why we made that decision. So now I think it's best that we move down to the financials so that you guys can get a better understanding of exactly why we were willing to invest $40,000 of cold hard cash after paying already $140,000, including a $7,500 finder's fee for this building. What we're expecting from this building, because it is a 2-bed, 1-bath, we're expecting that we can get somewhere around that $150 a night. Okay, now of that $150, 45 of that's gonna be our cleaning fee, and I'll show you the cost and how that all works at the end here. But we're expecting that we can get about $150 a night. Now 150 times 30, and then so it's 30 days in the average month. So for simple math here, this is how we're gonna estimate our revenue. We're expecting that we can get about 150 a night. Okay, now it might be more, it might be less depending on the number of guests, because we can sleep 5 here. So an average of 150 a night times 30 days in a month, but again, we do expect that we will have some vacancies. So I've allocated about 20% vacancy here. So we're gonna do $150 a night times 30 nights in a month, and then I'm expecting that 20% of the time the building will be vacant. So that brings us to $3,600 a month in revenue. Now, this is what I always hear. At this moment, you're going to be saying, but what about the cost, bro? What about the cleaning fees? Who's gonna manage it? How does that all work? And I'm gonna tell you, it's not half as complicated as you think. It's not half as expensive as you think. It's actually really easy. So you've got a couple options here. One of the options is you pay a management company, a company specifically designed to manage Airbnbs. They exist, they take a high margin, but you never have to do anything for your building. If I had wanted, they would have come and furnished the whole building for me as soon as I was done my renovation, and from that point, I would never need to set foot on the property again until they were done managing it. But you do pay a hefty fee for that. So I believe they're charging 20% right now, sort of the going rate for that type of management, but they're going to arrange your cleaning, they're going to manage all of your bookings, they're going to likely list your space on multiple different platforms, not just Airbnb. So you'll have the option to use VRBO, Canada Stays, or any other short-term rental platform that they're familiar with, and they'll manage it all for you. However, I'm partnered on this property as the active partner. So I've decided that Airbnb is likely going to be the way that we can maximize our revenue and then actually bring that down to the bottom line by having myself manage it and then paying cleaners to do the work. So revenue, we're estimating $3,600 in revenue, and then of course we have our costs. So our mortgage, once we refinance this building, you can see we're in it for $180. We're going to refinance that, and we'll likely end up with a mortgage somewhere around $200,000. So if you take a mortgage, typical mortgage is 80% loan to value. This building's valued somewhere around $250,000. So we'll do an 80% loan to value mortgage on the $250,000, which will give us an actual mortgage of $200,000. Money's really cheap right now in 2019 in Ontario. It's really easy to get mortgages around that 3% mark, so it's easy to estimate that. And then that's going to give us a cost of about $947 a month. Beyond the mortgage, we have to pay for the utilities here. Utilities are going to be extremely cheap, so we're estimating about $200 a month. And the reason why it's so low in this building is it's only 740 square feet. This is a tiny house, guys. It's one floor. It's got high efficiency water heater. We've got a smart thermostat in place. We've done everything that we can. We've re-insulated some of the walls, and we've got some new windows in here. So our utilities are really not even a line item. I mean, they're at most going to be $200. So with $200 of utilities, brings us to taxes. Our taxes here should be only about $150. Again, this is a small property, small house. And we're in London, so taxes really aren't that crazy here. So I'm estimating that to be about $150. And then our cleaning fee is going to be our biggest line item aside from the mortgage. So this is where everybody always panics. Everybody always thinks, oh my God, but you have to pay the cleaners. Well, the thing about the cleaners is they actually work for about $45 to $60 a clean. And with this house being so small, I'm thinking that we're actually more in that $45 bracket. And I'm thinking, based on my experience with my other Airbnbs, that they're only ever gonna clean it about 20 times a month. So when you do that math, that only brings us up to $900. And then when we sum all of this, our total expenses are going to be $2,197 a month. And then if we subtract that from our $3,600, that actually leaves us at the end of the day with $1,400 of cash flow. Okay, $1,400 of cash flow from an asset that we were able to purchase and renovate for $180,000. Now, if any of you guys were paying close attention there, I also mentioned to you that the building is now worth $250,000. And when I get this mortgage, you might be thinking, what, you're getting a $200,000 mortgage, but you actually only have $180,000 in the deal? Well, what's going on there? Well, I'm going to tell you what happens with that is the bank will literally write us a check for $20,000. That difference between what we have in the deal in equity and what we have as a mortgage. Okay, so we're literally going to be walking away with $20,000. So it's absolutely fantastic, guys, the power that you have when you buy these buildings at the right price, you do the right finishes, you do the right renovations to them, all the strategic renovations we're always talking about, and then you have a model like this that's going to succeed in a high cash flow strategy. Now, you might have some questions about using Airbnb revenue to qualify this mortgage as a borrower, and you'd be on the right path for sure. So one of the things that we like to do is we actually don't host this personally, okay? The owner of this building is not going to be the host of this Airbnb, but in fact, a corporation that we've leased this building to is going to host the Airbnb and collect the revenue. So all of a sudden we have a standard lease that is not only recognized by all of the banks, but we can use the revenue from that lease against the gross and total debt service ratios of the borrower. So that's how you get around that, guys. You're leasing the property long term, and then you have a company that runs the Airbnb short term out of it. Now, one thing you also have to focus on if you're going to do that strategy is ensuring that you have the proper insurance in place. So if you guys need an insurance provider, you best be reaching out to your favorite mentors or jumping in there on Cashflow Tribe, because we have the insurers that are going to give you insurance specifically for your Airbnb and specifically for this circumstance, so that if anything ever goes wrong, you're not just relying on Airbnb's $1 million liability coverage, but you've also got additional insurance to cover yourself as the tenant and yourself as the homeowner. So that's going to be very important when you're doing this. And the reason why I wanted to bring up all this information in regards to the renovations, in regards to the mortgage, and really working through the numbers here, and I'll show you in the walkthrough, is you must be thinking about your exit strategies. You have to think about your end user when you're going forward on a project like this. It doesn't make any sense to rely on one platform solely, because if London, Ontario decides to completely ban Airbnbs, and I've set up my building so that it only ever works as an Airbnb, I'm in a really tough spot. So a lot of the decisions that we made in this building were based around actually considering that end user. And you're going to see that when we get into the bathroom. You're going to see that when we walk through our layout changes in the walkthrough. But a big thing that we had to consider was taking those blinders off of Airbnb, because Airbnb, you don't need a bathtub. So I'm going to show you this in the bathroom. You don't need a bathtub. You can just do a stand-up shower. It would look a lot nicer. It'd be a lot cleaner. And in fact, it would have been cheaper for us. But I got to think that when we're going to exit this building, who wants that building? And initially, this started out as a 1-bedroom, so we added a bedroom. Who wants a 1-bedroom building that doesn't have a tub? It's not going to work. Like, you just need to consider all of the various variables here, and always be keeping in mind that someday this platform might not be around. I've got pretty good confidence in this platform. I think that it's solid sharing economy that we're always talking about. You know, things like Uber have had a lot of success plowing through a lot of this noise that's coming up. But it's also very important that we recognize nothing is certain. You have to be able to find a way out of this if you need so, and plan your projects accordingly. So those are the numbers, guys. We're expecting about 1,403. And honestly, if we're even 50% accurate on this, then we're good to go. I mean, my partner and I are expecting no more than $500 a month cash flow from this building. We're both happy. So if we get even half of this, we're happy. So don't get hung up on the numbers. Don't get hung up and tell me, oh, your utilities are going to be $250 or $300. It doesn't matter. They can be $1,000. Okay, if my utilities are $1,000, we're still getting $400 a month, right? Or $600. I'm terrible at math. So guys, don't get hung up on this space, this exact number. Just get hung up on, well, don't get hung up at all. focus on buying smart, buying with an exit strategy, buying with a plan, and leveraging your networks, leveraging your mentors, leveraging the people around you and people that have already done this to create win-wins for yourself, for your sellers, for your partners, for your guests, and ultimately to make money. It's like Matt always says, there's more than enough to make it. Let's go for a walkthrough. When life gives you lemons, you take them and you put them in your Airbnb. So that's what we did, and that actually inspired, you can see from here all the way through the bedroom, that inspired the yellow bedding. I was like, wow, I got some lemons in the truck, I might as well get yellow bedding. So kind of cool. And again, I think that might show you that this isn't a science, guys. It's not even really an art. It's just working with what you've got, whether that's budget constraints, whatever materials you've got, and just trying to create a space that does feel a little bit like home. This house is still fairly empty, but we're like 15,000 over budget. So got a little bike there, that's kind of cute. Again, it's like a $50 item that looks cute and makes the house feel memorable, right? So coming into here, simple bed. The bed's from Yisk or Jisk, whatever you want to call it, and some nice bedding that kind of brightened up the space. And then we just have a night table and some Kleenex. Super basic stuff, guys. You don't really have to get fancy with this. One of the things that you might want to get fancy on though, and this is one of the things I do recommend for you, is to get a smart thermostat. So this is an Ecobee. I can change the temperature on this from my phone. I can set up specific schedules. If nobody's gonna be here for a few days, I can just turn the temperature right down. So it's interesting little hacks like that that are gonna make your life easier as an Airbnb landlord. So if somebody comes in here and they're telling me they can't figure this out, which they should be able to really easily because all you do is drag your finger on it. So I just turned it down to 18.5 because 19.5 is crazy. So if somebody's telling me they can't figure out, no problem, I'll just do it right from my phone. So little hacks like that when you're a host are really gonna help. Are the doors locked or I can't get in? I forgot my code. Okay, great, I'll unlock it for you, here's a new code, right? Stuff like that is really easy. And then also deleting that code when they leave if you have a concern about your security of your building. So moving into the kitchen, there's another bedroom there that's exactly the same as that one. Moving into the kitchen, this was a really small space to work with, so we had to get creative. And one of the ways that we were able to get creative while still maximizing the utility of the building, because with Airbnb, why are they here? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Why are they here? Well, they're here because they want some amenities that the hotels aren't offering. Quite often that starts here, right in the kitchen. So they want a space where they can hang out with their friends, family, coworkers, whoever, but also have a bit of home here. So we went with a brand new gas stove. Nice pots. This is something everybody always cheaps out on. These are like actually really nice Masterclass or KitchenAid or whatever, but they're beautiful pots and pans. People are gonna have a good experience cooking on these. The worst thing ever is when you come to an Airbnb, you spent the money to have that amenity, and then you go to cook an egg, and it's like cooking on sandpaper. It's just so stupid that people don't think about that amenity because of the cost of $5 or $10 to just get the better pan. Think about why your guest is here. It's all about them. It's about giving them that good experience. Go with the space you have, but still have these things, right? Have the range, have the pot, have the pans. We also provided, again, this is a $10 thing, have it, okay? Some olive oil, so if they wanna cook, if they wanna do whatever, we've got that there, salt and pepper. And one thing I'm missing on my to-do list still is we will have a spice rack here, okay? It's just simple. Again, that's another 30 bucks or something, but then they don't have to worry about that stuff. Nobody's packing their curry with them, okay? Have it here for them. The other thing I really do like is if you're in a small space like mine, if you're in just a cute little thing, like have nice stuff, right? So this set was from Costco. It's kind of like clay. It's cool. People are going to remember it. People are going to think about that little stuff. That's how you win the wife. That's how you win the foodie, right? That's how you win the husband that is all into this kind of stuff. Like, you gotta win these people over with these little details, and for the cost, it's so worth it, and you'll see this in the bathroom too. The other thing, this is like honestly my favorite thing in the whole house, fun mugs. Who doesn't love fun mugs? Who doesn't love fun mugs when you're traveling? Who doesn't love good coffee with fun mugs when you're traveling? Usually you're stuck at the Holiday Inn with some shitty continental breakfast and some horrible coffee out of a styrofoam cup. No, come here, we've got great mugs and great pans. You can make your own beautiful breakfast. and you're in the Old East Village in London, which is another huge pro. Little fridge, it's not super important. They're not bringing, you know, 8 weeks of food with them. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, maybe a week, maybe even 3 weeks, but no more than that of food with them. So you don't have to have a whole lot, and it's empty, okay? Some people do provide coffee creamers, that kind of thing. I'm totally gonna avoid that. Not just because I don't drink dairy or have dairy, but I just don't want the hassle. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do the consumables and value add thing. Some people talk about like doing grocery shopping for their guests before they get here. Some people talk about doing like a bottle of wine for every guest. I do not recommend this. All this is going to do is add headaches. It's going to add a pain in the ass for you. And for the $10, $20 you may be able to command higher price per night, it's not going to be worth it. It's going to cost you $50 in time, energy, money, gas. I think time is honestly, that's what I'm hung up on. Don't be here replacing those types of consumables. Coffee is great because you can have these Costco boxes, right? Like that's a consumable. I don't mind because my cleaners are just going to refill this until it's full, right? And when this runs out, we're going to go buy another 110. So that's going to last quite a while. But even, you know, worst case, let's say that lasts a month. Okay, well that's even a monthly thing I have to do. That's fine. What I'm talking about is if you have 30 stays, don't be here 30 times trying to get a bottle of wine. That's horrible. Coming over here into the bathroom, I think I will kind of change this around because now that I'm looking at it, I don't really like the look, but I've got all my supplies here, and the reason I did that is it is such a small house, there's not much storage. So we did build these built-ins. We've got our towels here, we've got body wash, shampoo, conditioner supplied. Again, these are consumables, so I've just said we don't like consumables, but you should have these. Okay, and again, this is a Costco type thing where like that amount of shampoo, I don't know about you guys, but that's 3 years for me, right? That amount of body wash, you'll kind of go through that. But again, with the Costco packs or wherever you're gonna buy it, just get a bunch at once so you don't have to go back. So I've got like 3 of these and another 2 more of those. And then for toilet paper, I've got like an annual supply of toilet paper. Just get it all done at once. Go to Costco, figure it out. Here's a pro tip that you haven't seen on any other video. I guarantee it. Hold on. Are you ready? This little purchase of $15 is going to save you possibly 50 towels a year, okay? These are little cotton rounds so that the ladies can clean their makeup off before using your towels, okay? Because I made the horrible mistake of going with white towels at one of my other Airbnbs, and what does every lady do when they get home from the bar? When they're getting ready for bed, they clean their makeup off. The craziest thing about mascara and white towels, not friends. They're not friends of each other. They're horrible, it stains, and it's very difficult to get out if you're a dummy like me, so you don't want to do that. Get the cotton rounds, they're like 10 bucks, you can have like 1,000,000 of them, and then get a cute little glass container, shove them in there, that's perfect. But also, we've gone with like a teal, bluish type towel this time so that it won't stain as easily. It'll be a lot easier if there are little imperfections because foundation stains white towels, mascara stains white towels, there's been blood on the towels. That's not going to be solved by the teal, but at least some of those other minor things are solved. Even like dirt from the floor or from anywhere else, if it gets on the white, it's really difficult to get out, even with bleach. So you got to think about that stuff. And everybody, I know I'm going to get burned right now in the comments about the white towel thing, but I'm serious, you do not need that. People don't expect it. You expect it. The only one commenting right now about white towels. But if you want white towels, go to the Hilton. They're shitty white towels. They're abrasive. They hurt your skin. They're not even nice. And you don't even get a robe anymore. And it's still $200 a night. I'm appalled. So get a blue towel, but get nice towels. If you feel these, they're super soft. They're really nice. Again, Costco sells these things. They come in bundles of like 10. Worth it. Yeah, shower. So we went with a brand new tub, new tile. Looks clean, looks simple. This is sort of the feature of the building. And then one thing I always like to do too, because again, you got to win these people over, and it's going to be the little things. It's not going to be your location. They already know, they're just coming to a city. They don't know about your location. They don't know and care about Old East Village per se, but what they do care is about their experience here. Get a fancy soap. This thing was like $5, but they're gonna remember the soap. I remember still in Windsor, the Airbnb that we stayed at, and all I could think about for months was the tea tree freaking soap and shampoo that they had when we stayed there for, I think it was OREC that we were running. It was beautiful. The design of the building was much like this, like just clean, simple, whatever, but then the little things really got me and stuck with me. And I remember with Miranda and I, we talked about it forever. We're like, where's that soap come from? We DM'd them and asked if we could buy the property and where'd you get the soap, right? So like, it's those little things that people will think about, because it's those little things that sometimes they cheap out on in their regular life, right? They're not getting the best toilet paper. We got the best toilet paper, because I hate hotel toilet paper and restaurant toilet paper. We got some really good soap, because that's awesome. We got really good pants, we got really good mugs, we got really good plates. Anything that people are consuming and interacting with in my building, I want it to be really good. I want it to be hopefully better than what they're used to, so that when they leave here, it's 5 stars, right? I want to keep that Superhost status. I want to keep getting better search results. I want to keep getting more revenue, better bookings, better guests, 5-star guests only. And you only do that by maintaining that Superhost status and getting those reviews. So it's really important. And that, my friends, is the walkthrough of my most recent Airbnb and project. This building cost $140,000. We did $40,000 of renovations to furnish and make it look like this. And at the end of the day, I think we're really gonna love it. It looks like we should be able to get somewhere over 1,000, close to 1,400 for cash flow. And again, I think I've shown you today, it's all really simple. You just work with what you got, make some good strategic decisions, like the flooring, it's bulletproof basically, and everything else in here is pretty much the same. You can't really hurt this place. So anyways, there's some quick tips for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I know Matt wants you to like and subscribe, so get down there and do it. And leave me a comment. What do you think about that red brick in the front? What do you think about my toilet paper and soap and dishes? Do you guys care about that stuff? I do.
Thanks again to Adam Martin. If you guys want to watch more Adam Martin, we're going to throw up another video here that we've already done with him documenting this project. But if you guys want to watch the entire Adam Martin playlist, there's one right there. Otherwise, if you want to follow along with Adam Martin on social media, it's Adam JD Martin on Instagram. And I look forward to hearing you guys reaching out to Adam, learning more from Adam. Otherwise, if you guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and dive into the comments. What would you guys like to see us do more of on these YouTube videos, because we're producing a video a day in 2020. So I need your feedback, I need your engagement, and also we're giving away all kinds of random prizes to commenters, so you never know when you're going to be selected and given something for free.